Folks, some members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Inc. are angry this morning as Bishop Eddie L. Long was awarded the fraternity's highest honor during his funeral service in January. Long was head of the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in suburban Atlanta. During the funeral, Kappa Grand Polemarch Thomas Battles Jr. called Long, quote, the ideal Kappa man before handing a Laurel Wreath pin to Long's wife, Vanessa. It is the highest honor given to a Kappa member.
On behalf of our brothers, we have his Laurel Wreath pen, and with permission, this Grand Polemarch intends to give it to you right now.
Now, in 2009, they voted to give it to him at their convention in 2011. But it was in 2010, 4 young men sued Long, accusing him of seducing them into sexual relations for clothes, cars, and travel. 2 accused him of approaching them while they were still in the church's youth academy. Long never admitted wrongdoing, but did settle the case out of court. Battles told the congregation Long deserved to receive the award.
2009, it was the brothers in Washington, D.C. that said, we see you, Brother Long, and you have earned the coveted Laurel Wreath, the highest award we could give a brother for his service. You ought to recognize that. And we did.
Well, this is anger some Kappas, including my next guest, South Carolina State Representative Cezar McKnight, who joined us via FaceTime from South Carolina. We also asked Kappa Grand Polemarch Battles to join us as well, but he declines to comment at this time until members of the leadership of Kappa Alpha Psi can meet and come, what he says, into an understanding. Representative McKnight, you say you are embarrassed by this handing of the wreath, and you said you refuse to continue giving any money, correct?
That is correct, and good morning, Roland. I think the actions of the Polemarch put a bad negative light on Kappa Alpha Psi, giving the activities of Eddie Long and his reputed sexual predatory nature, and I can't at all go along with what the Grand Polemarch did, at all.
And again, it was voted in 2009 to give in 2011. And there was no explanation in 2011 why he wasn't awarded. Clearly, he was tied to the lawsuit.
Exactly. And here's the thing that I don't like. Kappa Alpha Psi has several programs that are directed towards the mentoring of young men, our Guide Right program in particular. So when you have someone who's a reputed sexual predator, who's accused of grooming young boys for the purposes of sexually exploiting them, how then can you give our highest award, an award that we've given to the likes of Arthur Ashe and to the former mayor, the first black mayor of LA, Tom Bradley? How can you give that award to him? You put him in the pantheon of the greatest Kappas? No, that's an insult. There are far greater people who participated in Kappa Alpha Psi, who've done wonderful things in our community, that are far more deserving. Eddie Long does not deserve that. Rather, while he's alive or posthumously, it's an insult.
And in the story in one of the Philadelphia newspapers, I think it was Philly Tribune, they said that, well, one of the Kappas said this really is not a big deal inside of the fraternity. You disagree?
Oh, it's a huge deal, and I'm probably going to lose several friends who are Noops that are probably angry at me because I've decided to go public. However, when it comes to the abuse of children, I will not be party to that. And I'm not at all suggesting that Kappa did that. I'm suggesting that when we take someone like Eddie Long, who we know has a reputed history of doing what he did, and say that he's the ideal Kappa, that's not the light that this organization, one of the Divine Nine, should be held in. We're much better than Eddie Long and anyone like him.
And one of the things is that you're right. He was accused of this. They chose to go to mediation. And look, and I made the point that if somebody accused me of this and I know I didn't do it, or I make it clear, we ain't having no discussion in private. There will be no mediation. Ain't nobody getting money. We gonna have cameras everywhere. And that was just my deal. That if you say it didn't happen, then I'm putting everybody on Front Street. Yeah.
Precisely. And if you remember when Eddie Long was accused of this and he stood up in front of New Birth, he promised to fight like David fought Goliath. Well, we didn't get that fight. We got him going quietly into the good night, being quiet, hoping it went away. And You know, I'm not anti-preacher. We've got great ministers, men of the cloth that are doing what they're supposed to do. And yes, maybe Eddie Long has done some great things. However, there's some things you can do that'll tarnish everything that you've ever done.
Got it.
And potentially molesting children is something on that line.
Representative McKnight, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.